some rough times back in those days. And I know there were a lot of you that I had the honor of talking with that shared those rough times, not like it is today. But it seemed like they were good times, and that's why, just to let you guys know, a couple of years ago, Beth Ann had a brilliant idea to have Dad record stories of his life. And he's been doing that. He's been doing that for a couple of years, and you know, what a blessing. And we started thinking, how could we make this a celebration of his life? And that's why we decided that we would do this. And luckily for us, we have some very, very talented. I have very talented nieces and nephews' girlfriends that put that together. So we thank them very much. So those were the younger years. Dad joined the Navy when he was 17 years old. He went and asked his dad permission. His dad wasn't sure at first, and then he allowed him to. And again, from a lot of you that I know that's what happened back in those days. You joined the military. And he ended up out in San Diego, California at North Island. And he met Mom in 1956. They dated for about a year and a half and got married in 1958. He left the military and had several jobs out in California, but that's where he left his legacy. That's where began his legacy, excuse me. That's where he had his 5 children. Barbara, the oldest, myself, Beth Ann, Becky, and Amy. We always wondered why it was all B's and then an A. It was probably easier on Amy because when Mom would get really mad, it would just be until she could figure out which one she was mad at. But this is about Dad. So we had a great life in California. I mean, it was really, really a great life. But Dad always had the longing to come back to Florida, and especially Berrydale. That was what he wanted to do. And we all fondly remember the vacations that we would take out here. We'd meet all of our cousins and think, man, that's where I want to live, because they get to go to the creek and they get to go to the 3-mile bridge and, you know, have such a great time. And lo and behold, it was about 1973. We came out for vacation. Dad went out. We went back to put the house up, and it sold. So we were in a moving van coming across the United States. Matter of fact, I think Glenda even partook in that trip. So we came here to Berrydale, and I think one of the things that Dad was really happy is that it put him a lot closer with his family, with his oldest brother, even though at the time he was in Georgia, Jarrell, and now lives here as a blessing. And then we had Cortez, who Dad was very, very close with. Jarrell, who he's very close with, Larry, who he's very close with, and then his favorite sister, Aunt Imogen. I think what we really liked is no matter where we went, we always met a cousin. First cousin, second cousin, third cousin. Everybody was related to us. And, you know, I think nowadays we probably don't take time to learn that as much as you did in the past, but it really meant a lot to us to know who our cousins were. Now, you have to remember, we lived in the city in California, so milk and eggs came from the store. We didn't know anything about a farm. Well, that was until Dad got his acres over here. So it started off with hogs, horses, chickens, and then Dad's beloved cows. He loved his cows. And we were all talking about, you know, he ended up getting Elsie, because you had to name the cow Elsie. It was this beautiful Jersey cow. And we would milk the cow. I learned to milk the cow. And I think the thing that I probably learned the most that Dad wanted us to learn was responsibility. You can't decide that you don't want to milk the cow that day. You can't decide that you don't want to feed the horses or the cows or the chickens. I mean, they depend on you, and you've got to do that, and there's a tremendous amount of responsibility. So we hadn't been here long with the milk cow, and he took one of the Sun tea jars, and he put cream in it, and it sat over corner of the living room with a washcloth over the top of it. And it sat there for a couple of days, and we didn't really understand what he was doing. And then one evening, he pulled us all in, all 5 of us, and he had one of us get the jug, and he put a top on it, and he started to shake it. And we had no earthly idea what he was doing. And he kept shaking it, and he kept shaking it. and then all of a sudden you could see the lumps of butter appear. And for us, it was magic. It was like, wow, how cool is this to do it? He tried doing cottage cheese once. That didn't work out well. But he did actually. The other thing is, I remember, and the girls and I talked about, he would take the cream and put the vanilla and the sugar in. Of course, we had no idea that we were about to have the most incredible whipped cream that there ever was. So that was our dessert, and we really, really enjoyed that. You know, we had a great life growing up. Dad and Mom were always supportive when we were in high school, or in school and in high school, and then we all kind of went our separate ways and had our own families. Stayed close. Always would come see him at Christmas time and family reunions. And then we started with the grandchildren. So Dad had a favorite grandchild. Every single one was a favorite grandchild. Every great-grandchild was a favorite grandchild. And actually every one of his children was a favorite. I've never seen someone that could love everyone unconditionally all the same. No matter what happened in our lives, he was always there, always positive, always supportive. And that's something that we all try to take with us as we move forward. Dad loved his community. He loved his community so much. And it's funny because when we hear the stories, we understand why the community meant so much to him. You know, we were talking about how when the hurricane came, Dad had a generator and he would just go around to people's houses trying to charge up their or let them run their refrigerators and stuff because he loved his community. The other thing I was going to mention, for those of you that are visiting with us that haven't seen, this is the table of knowledge, or our replica, our representation of the table of knowledge. So I have to explain for those of you that don't know, out here at the crossroads, every morning, starting at about 6 o'clock in the morning, a distinguished group of men get together, and they have coffee, and they solve the world's problems. Trust me, and you should go there. It's pretty doggone. It's inspiring, and I guess I learned from sitting in there and listening to Mr. Shorty Floyd. I wrote down some names: Yogi Dubose, Terry Bates, Curtis Penton, Willie Trawick, Carmen Ivy, his beloved ladies that made the breakfast. He loved you guys so much. Art Austin and Stuart Haynes. You know, to sit up there and listen to these guys, there was a lot of joking around, but it really made you appreciate life and appreciate what people go through and how they are able to triumph. And I'll tell you, Dad experienced all those things, and I think that's what made him love that place so much. And he would come up with some pretty quick ones. So, but unfortunately, I talked to Brother Candy, and we're not going to discuss that here. So I guess what I want to end with is, you know, my sisters and I talked about, you know, what are some of the greatest things that Dad ever did, and his marriage to our mom, so inspiring, so supportive. You know, everything that you would want a husband to be, that's what Dad was to her. And, you know, I know his fear was that he was going to go before her, but we all had agreement, we're always going to take care of Mom. So that's a non-starter. We didn't have to think about it. But he loved her so much. And 58 years of marriage, and very seldom did I ever hear any type of argument. Growing up, we never heard an argument, so they must have took it indoors or something, because we never heard it. But he absolutely, absolutely loved you, Mom.